Well, I joined the Fine Arts Association committee just a few months ago, and talking to John London, it was his idea to get graduates to come over and exhibit their work. Very often when graduates finish their work in the UK, it's the end of the culmination of their studies and it ends there. And John thought that it was a waste of work that could be exhibited locally, with the benefits of showcasing to members of the public, to family and friends, Department of Education. Today we've invited architect firms, the department, Ministry of Culture, to showcase their work and try and maybe even make a link with employers and so on.
So aesthetics is based on the idea of challenging the social norms in an exhibition setting and challenging the curatorial phrase or the curatorial prohibition of do not touch, and how I can transgress that in an exhibition or social norms like we see today.
So it's all about making your exhibitions and your pieces of work interactive.
Yeah, so the choice of materiality and how they're designed is carefully selected and sort of revolved around the auditory, the sensory, the physically and the visually and the olfactory senses to kind of engage the audience and to go beyond those rules.
Okay, so give us one example. We see one big piece in the middle of the room. What's that?
So wearability is a wearable sculpture that can be worn by one or by a few people, and it's to solicit a social interaction. So people that don't know each other in a gallery setting, and they come together to wear that sculpture and they kind of communicate, and conversations revolve around sculpture and art, and they're kind of intertwined with this massive sculpture that is making them gel kind of together.
It's just like a compilation of everything that I've done in uni, so it's all the styles that I've tried out basically, and it's just a showcase of who I am as an animator and who I want to become. So like I've got some examples of some 2D work that I have, but also I've got 3D work that I want to get more into, so hopefully in my masters I'll do more, like modeling and like hands-on work, stuff like that,
How did you get into animation?
Well, I was supposed to do graphics at the beginning, and then I didn't find it as challenging for myself, so I just fell into animation really. Like my tutors just suggested, well, why don't you do this? Because I was going to do product design as well. But yeah, I don't know, I just fell into animation, but I think it was the right decision, yeah.
My project is my thesis, which is looking at an invasive algae that's come to Gibraltar's Arc Murray and how it's decimated Gibraltar, and looking at ways architecturally of how we can utilize it as a construction material for Gibraltar, not just to improve the environment but also for it to be a potential financial venture.
Okay, and just give us an idea of how that would work. Algae as a construction material, is it not perishable?
Well, so there was multiple avenues in which I could have looked at. I inevitably looked at using it almost like a fly ash, which is an existing construction material which can replace up to 30% of cement, which cement is one of the worst parts of concrete in itself. So by ashing seaweed, remove majority of the perishable and potentially use that as an alternative, and as I said, for it to be beneficial for all of us.